Who is Asat Pramad, and who is their ally? Please keep in mind that this video will have spoilers for the current storyline in Planarcadia. With that said, let's get into it. This patient, calculating strategist of a Lord Ravager is considered either the most humane by some, or the least humane by others, leaving mocking smiley faces to the worlds he destroys. For someone who rarely enters battle personally and is seen as a calm, composed individual, studying and researching the worlds he sets his sight on, learning all he can about the civilizations he wishes to destroy, working with the utmost care with a slow, methodical dance of elation amidst destruction. With that said, what is the best move for him to make to accomplish his goals? What pawns can this chess master use to get the results he desires? I have an idea, but first let's talk about a few theories and lore bits that we've seen along the way, along with some hints that give us some info on who or what he may be. When we first went to Planarcadia, we were greeted by Sparkle impersonating Lygus. Fast forward a bit, and we're followed by Sparkle fighting a version of herself that she created, an imagine of herself, Sparksy. The Trailblazer, along with the help of Space Bomb, Sunday, and Yao Guang, helped us defeat Sparksy. Was this a hint for things to come within Planarcadia? More specifically, Asat Pramad himself? Back in 4.0, I had a few theories about who Asat might be. Maybe a previous winner of the Phantasmoon games? More specifically, the winner that used Aha's authority to try to kill Aha themselves? But, well, Aha being Aha, Uno reversed that real quick by saying, well, aren't you Aha right now? And then I thought, if he was brought back to life by Nanook as Asat Pramad, would he still be able to compete in the Phantasmoon games again? After all, if you can trick the Phantasmoon quite like the Trailblazer did with their mask created by Evanesha, was that still a possibility? Another idea I had was that he was an imaginary created by Aha possibly, but later I dismissed that theory as well after reading some notes of the readables and completing one of the adventure missions called Millennium Killer. I won't spoil the quest just in case you have yet to complete it. When going through the quest, you obtain a readable called Bertoli Miranda's Notes. The excerpt that stuck out was, Imagine cannot create Imagine. This is an iron law established when the Laughter created this world. As such, the so-called Imagine cosmetic surgeons are already defying the natural law of the Aeon, establishing their own doctrine of creation. I can't create Imagine out of thin air. Wish power can't flow from my body and condense into another individual. But I can reforge the forms of other Imagine, change the shape of a horn, alter lip color, add vivid patterns to skin, even extend wings from the ribs. So then I thought, if Imagine can't be created from other Imagine, then what or who is he? In the monodrama trailer, I saw a lot of imagery that mirrored certain parts of the Myriad Celestia trailer, the Anti-Destruction Alliance. At the end, a thought occurred to me. What if it's similar to the Sparksy situation? Was Asat Pramad possibly a mask that Aha discarded? If he was, who better to destroy the elation than part of the elation themselves? It could be a big possibility since Nanook seems to choose his Lord Ravagers with purpose. I mean, who better to destroy the elation than a Lord Ravager that is part of the elation themselves? Having a Lord Ravager that's a discarded part of Aha to become an emanator of destruction seems like something the Laughter would honestly find hilarious, balancing both on a knife's edge with elation and destruction. I know what you're thinking here, but stay with me and let me cook. Who in the story have we met so far that could get closest to us while obtaining classified information about the land of Planarcadia? And who could possibly get close to the most of the supplicants, let alone most of the characters that we've met so far? Kuchiba. Even Ashvale finds her suspicious, saying, I can't smell anything wrong with her, but that's what's suspicious about her, since most people involved in these Phantasmoon games have a complex past. Even though Asat rarely enters the battlefield himself, he had mentioned that he had an ally when he caught Silverwolf. This ally at first I thought could be Ryusuke, but I truly believe he's nothing more than a pawn to him. As an ally, who better than a member of the Department of Aberration Defense, Kuchiba herself? What if the theory of Asat being a discarded mask of Aha is true? Creating an Imagine being Kuchiba, or even him pretending to be Kuchiba, would be extremely simple. Do you remember when the Phantasmoon said whoever wins would become the permanent Aeon of Elation? What if Asat took temporary control of the Phantasmoon? Wouldn't it be easy as child's play? What better way to cause destruction than to weave a scenario that would allow people to act more chaotically and gamble with all their chips on the table, even if it meant gambling their very lives? After all, Asat is a cunning strategist that has nothing but patience to move his pawns in the direction he sees fit. When we see Full Wish in front of the cameras before Asat Pramad mails her a mask, rage-baiting her, one of the camera crew sounds suspiciously like Kuchiba herself. I tried to find all the voice actors used for that scene, but I had no luck whatsoever. However, the cadences in one of the female camera crew's voices sound eerily similar to Kuchiba. Briefly, I want you to think about that scene with Full Wish in front of the cameras. Do you remember all the eyes and teeth imagery used? They eerily resemble the coin of whimsy that we've seen in Amphorius, as well as the imagery used in Monodrama trailer. Throughout the 4.2 quest, we continuously see that kind of imagery used, especially with Kuchiba rolling up on Pearl at the end of 4.2. Now to Silverwolf. Do you remember when Kafka called her 23 seconds late? Kafka said to her, "Don't lose to Aha," in parentheses, and she seemed to understand what she meant. Now think back to the Myriad Celestia, the Anti-Destruction Alliance, when we see Aha and someone else playing a game of cards. They used Astat's voice actor almost hinting at that possibility. I think Asat might be the Knight's Supplicant. Don't you find it interesting that within the trailer, with all the characters at the crossroads, almost as if each character is placed with purpose on a chessboard, strategically placed, with Himiko, Graphica's descendant, in the center, Evanesha and Kuchiba across from one another, and then Asat across from Nihilix, with Trailblazer at the top of a tower and a mask. With the 4.3 trailer, I believe that Ryusuke is nothing more than a pawn that's being used by Asat Pramad. Who better to use as a pawn than a man who is willing to do anything to save their daughter and already lost their wife due to the weathering curse? Grief can make people do strange and crazy things. He had mentioned that he was looking for various ways to try to cure Himiko off-world. If Ryusuke is being used by Asat, is this the way of him expressing his loss? To take out his frustrations and revenge out on the very planet and person and place that made him lose his wife and possibly the original Himiko? By targeting Graphia and Planarcadia itself? He mentioned that Himiko had never left Planarcadia. It makes me wonder if Himiko, the real one, was buried or is being used by Ryusuke and Asat. I really wish we could insight check our Space Mom and Navigator because I have so many questions. I also find it strange that in the trailer for 4.3 that with so many people present fighting Asat, he made his appearance on the battlefield, which he rarely does. From a strategical standpoint, what would make this emanator of destruction step onto the board? I believe that with so many people present fighting him in the trailer, is he truly the Ninth Supplicant? Then the mask he obtained would ultimately boost not only the power of elation, but destruction as well. When before, he didn't even want to fight Silverwolf when she was in level 999. But from the trailer, it seemed that she didn't transform when fighting him. Why? Did he potentially steal her cartridge or manipulate reality itself to alter the effects of the cartridge? For him to fight that many people with confidence head-on, not to mention he seemed barely have to lift a finger, just flicking the Trailblazer's head to knock them out. If he uses a series of cruel jokes to destroy worlds, then what better than for Asat to become the Aeon of Elation for 1 minute? In a world not dictated by the script, where Elia's vision is powerless, I can't wait to see what illusions will be shattered and where this story will lead us. After all, like Asat said, the moment humans start to think, Aha begins to laugh. Destruction amidst elation. Isn't that elating? I can't truly wait to see what happens in 4.3, and I'm so excited to learn more about our Navigator, Asat, and Graphia. It seems 4.3 is going to be so hype, and I honestly can't wait to see more of the story, even if we might be cooked. If you made it this far and listened to all my yapping, seriously, thank you so much. It truly means a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Here there's so many cameras.
Mr. Collier, you're getting too excited. You let the cat out of the bag.
No big deal. We can edit it in post.
Post? Edit? What are you talking about?
Foolish. Congratulations. Just moments ago, you conquered every last viewer. Ratings for the elating show, Please Be Happy, just hit an all-time high.
The investors made the call immediately and greenlit the budget for the next 3 seasons. Cast members, and especially you, Full Wish, great work. You are the pride of the Arcadia.
What did you say? So, the people who helped me? Uncle August, Miss Spy? Were they all actors? But my tears, they weren't fake at all.
The inspirational girl who survived the Herald of Death tragedy. A 100% true story. That's exactly the effect we're after.
Remember to look at the camera, superstar. Give us another smile.